Hi. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, or good evening, good morning. I don't know what time it is where you're watching this from, but hello, how are you doing today? How is your Sunday going? How is your Sunday going? Thank you for joining us on today's session. I mean, Friday was an amazing time with the amazing, phenomenal Olamide Oladere. It was a great time. So this is Witty Chat View Live. This is Witty Chat Live, and it is a chat with people in the real estate space. So here you get a lot of first hand, a lot of insights into real estate conversations with real estate people, of course, people that have industry knowledge, people that have experience, that know exactly what they are saying, professionals in the real estate space. So here we're going to be interviewing and hearing stories from realtors, from developers, from real estate enthusiasts, of course, or people that have made really nice investments when it comes to real estate. And I am Dorcas Adejoro. I'm going to be your host for today. Yes, you can call me Dorcas for this session. So once you join us, kindly tell me where you're joining from. Are you in Lagos, Nigeria? Are you in Canada? Are you in New York? Are you in the United States? Are you in the United Kingdom? Are you joining us from Japan or China? But yes, welcome. So, like I said, this is Wisi Chat Live, and it's a chat with people in the real estate industry, right? And trust me when I say it is going to be a valuable journey, and I'm going to take you on a journey of value, of insights, and of course, a lot of opportunities for you. Things that you can, things that uh, you can grab and take for yourself, right? So today is going to be fun. I'm someone that loves hearing people's stories a lot, and that is going to be happening again today. So on Friday, Olamide Oladero joined us, and trust me when I say it was phenomenal. Olamide did a great job, and she dropped a lot of insights. But that was not it for me. The very fun and interesting part of Olamide's session with us on this chat was when she mentioned estate selling. Her mother literally introduced her into real estate, and then she decided to just give it a try. And guess what? She made her first sale in less than 24 hours. You find that intriguing, Abi? I do. Very inspiring a story. And on Friday, Olamide emphasized on some things I'm going to be sharing very briefly before I bring our guests live this afternoon. So she said that you should never underestimate the people in your network. So in case the reason why you've not made any sale when it comes to real estate is because, oh, I don't know, all the people I have on my timeline, all the people that are in my contact list, I don't know if they have money, I don't know if they do this. If that is why you've been holding back, this is your sign. This is your sign to share that flyer. This is your sign to let people know what you sell, right? Because sales is very important. Thank you for joining us. You can please tell me where you're joining from. Welcome to Witty Chat Live. Tell me where you're joining from. Let me see your comments. And while you're here, you can please subscribe to this YouTube channel and also leave comments. Let me know what you are looking forward to expecting to getting from the session today. So on Friday, Olamide also shared the importance of research. Research, maybe you are a realtor, maybe you are about going into any kind of business, you should always research to have full knowledge about what you're going into, because I mean, why would you go into anything without knowing jack about it, right? So she also told a lot of stories about how she was able to develop herself, how she was able to build herself. It was really nice on Friday, and today is not going to be any less. So before I bring our fantastic guest on the chat today, before I bring him on your screen, I'm going to be talking about the sponsors of this amazing chat session. So this is proudly sponsored by Wittyville. Yes, Wittyville, and I'm on the team. So Wittyville, we are a company that sells genuine and trustworthy real estate. I want to call it condiments, right? So from your land to your properties to everything that has to do with real estate, to land banking, a lot of opportunities. You get them with us at Wittyville Properties. So in case you need to make a call, in case an amount of money that's just been lying in your account or your savings, people don't save money in banks anymore. In 2024, you should invest. You should invest in land banking. You should invest in real estate. Invest in real estate. Invest in real estate. So I would wait for you to please share. You can share this link with someone you know that is going to benefit from this. Or in case you're a realtor and you've been trying to get someone to buy from you, the person can also join us on this live session as we proceed. So you can reach out to us on 081 3888 3406. I'll take that again. 081 3888 3406. You can call us on that number, and trust me, we're going to walk you through seamless and very easy processes of getting maybe your first real estate property. Let us be your plug, okay? So, drum rolls, drum rolls, drum rolls, drum rolls. If you're just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Witty Chat Live, and I'm Dorcas Adejoro. I'm going to be your host today, and I'm about bringing our guests here. So, to give you, what's it called? To give you OT. To give you OT, like you see on the streets of Lagos. This person is a young man, right? Is a young man who is doing really well in his career, in his industry, and he has been doing really phenomenal things when it comes to real estate. He's a professional architect. He's a professional architect, and he is going to be joining me right about now. So you're going to see our guest right now. Yes. So welcome. His name is Christian Chickeme. Welcome, Christian. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Dorcas. How are you doing today?
I'm good. It's good to have you here with us.
Good to be here.
Yes. So I don't know if I should start right away, or do you have something to say for people to get ready and let them know that okay, you're about sharing very valuable things with them?
I think you should just go ahead and start. Then we'll move from
All right. So if you are joining us and you are a salary earner, you own a small business, or you are an investor looking for just that right thing to put your money. I mean, this is for you. So you should hold on, right? Stay here. I will be talking about some very important things for you to opportunities for you to jump on. So I'm going to start with Christian now, and I'm going to be asking you your first question. Are you ready for us?
Yes, I am.
All right. So tell us about your real estate journey and what motivated you to pursue it. What exactly made you go into real estate, and what has your journey been like?
Okay. Once again, I would like to say thank you for having me here. Um, so my real estate journey. So I started real estate in 2021. I joined the real estate firm, and therefore I got really exposed to what real estate was about. But before then, I'd had several encounters with real estate. I remember very well, I used to see a lot of real estate ads when they're just coming up anyways. You see their ads. buy this here, buy this property here. And I was always curious that one day, means if I'll buy a house in a gated estate because it was very, very, very fancy and all. But I joined in 2021, and from there I was exposed because I joined in two ways. I'm an architect, and
Mm.
I joined to promote or to build buildings, design real estate
Wow.
housing. So I'd worked on, in my course, I'd worked on a lot of housing projects, a lot of buildings for clients. But on the
Mm.
other part, I also joined and I saw how selling can be a great booster of your income. So I
Mm.
remember I made my first sale in 2021, few months after I joined um, the company. It was about at that point I did not know, the very first set of people you have to market real estate to is the people around you.
Mm.
Um, the idea that you have to go and look for people far away might not necessarily be right. So while I kept posting on my status and all, um one of my relatives then reached out to me and she was looking at getting a property for investment.
Mm.
um I started to work on her, started to send her pictures, started to do a whole lot, trying to convince her that because I really needed to prove to myself that this field I had entered into, I could actually get something for it. And eventually I was able to convince her and she got her first plot. And I can tell you that
Wow.
when you get the client that gets his first plot like that and you get the commission attached to it, there's a big excitement to it.
It's
So
always juicy.
right. Right, so it's been a great experience from then on. I've gotten to work on a lot of with a lot of real estate companies, over 10 real estate companies, helping them to design houses, helping them to meet their customer needs. I've also gotten to sell other properties too as well. So it's been an amazing experience in the real estate field.
Mm. Wow. That's cool. That means you sold your own first real estate property to your, I want to say, your family member.
Yeah.
Wow,
Can you hear me?
that's amazing. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi, Christian, can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you if you can hear me. Just say hi. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, can you hear me now?
No, I can't.
Can you hear me now? How about now? Okay, so let's take it that you'll join us very shortly. Network issues. We also had a little bit of network issue on Friday, but the session still went very well. So yes, just like I was saying about Whittyville Properties Limited. Of course, we are a real estate brand and we sell genuine and trusted properties. We sell land in Lagos, Ogun State, and also Abuja. So if you're looking forward to getting your very first or to add to your collection of land that you have, let us be your plug. Let us be your plug. You can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms at Whittyville Properties Limited. So before Christian also joins us, okay, I can see he's here already. Let me add him to this. So in case you are joining us for the first time, this is the Witty Chat Live, and it is proudly sponsored by Whittyville Properties. Hi, Christian. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Amazing. So the network wanted to cut that gist that you were sharing with
Right.
us. Yes. So you were saying that you sold your very first property in a matter of months, after joining real estate. So what was the feeling like when you sold your first land?
Oh, the feeling is always good. It's always good. Because I worked with a real estate firm, it was an added advantage to prove what I could really do on the job as a then, and also the financial benefits to it was very
Mm,
good. The real estate journey, I've always believed that you should always have more sources of income, not just your regular salary. And
mm.
real estate have forced you that opportunity. So when I got to sell my first property, it was affirming that belief that having other sources of income actually pays, because at that point you can now think to do other things with the money that you have gotten. So it was a great experience altogether.
Wow, that's really good. Thank you very much. So, to my next question, you mentioned earlier that you are an architect. I'm whispering
Yeah.
architects because I feel like it's big men and women that are under your league, right? you guys make a lot of money, so you should extend that hand to those of us here. So you mentioned earlier that you are an architect. So my question is, can you share some examples of real estate projects that you've worked on? How exactly does that um how do I say it now? How exactly does working or being an architect, helped? How has it helped your speed or your journey when it comes to real estate? Does it give you a higher level of advantage over people that are just realtors? And so just tell us.
Okay. So being an architect and being a real estate person, I would say it's like a kind of cheat sometimes because uh
Exactly.
you, you know some of the back ends of some of these things. An experience I will have is so I tend to do a lot of designs for people, and
Mm.
not just for myself now, but even helping other people to close sales. So I remember there have
Wow.
been realtors that have come up to me, and I will speak to their client for them. Their client wants to know, okay, so if I buy this land, what will I do on this land? Some people
Mm.
they want to buy properties and they're not very sure what to do. Sometimes they think that their properties are too small. So you want to buy 150 square meter, you want to buy 300 square meter. And like this 300 square meter that I buy, self, what can I use the 300 square
Use
meter
it
for? Is it
for.
not like exactly. So sometimes people even think that their 600 square meter is very small. They'll tell you that one plot of land, I cannot use it for it. Maybe it's only a four-bedroom. And I've had clients walk up to me like that, asking me or being puzzled by those things. And by a
Mm.
few explanations, explaining to them what they can achieve with their plot, even as little as a 150 square meter, what you can actually achieve with your 150 square meter. Yeah, some people might not know with the 150 square meter, you can get a four-bedroom duplex on it. So
Wow.
imagine you armed with that piece of information, talking to a potential
Mm.
customer wanting to buy that. You
Mm.
preach it to them, and the next thing they're saying, "Oh, wow, I can do this." And you're showing them examples of some of the things that have been done in the past with other customers.
Mm.
Immediately, that's a way of converting sales. So, being an architect and being in the real estate has been like a boost because I've gotten to help people convert sales. I've also gotten to help myself to achieve sales. I mentioned my first sale with you. One of the reasons why she could trust that she could trust to buy that property for me was because she
From
knew
you.
that I was an architect, and because of that, she knew that when she buys it, I told her that when you buy it, I will be the one to design this house for you. I don't worry about
Imagine.
design. I'll be the one to design the house for you. So that was an added advantage. That was like a cheat for me to use for her. She got the property because of that. So that has really helped my career as well as the real estate field.
Interesting. So you have a cheat code for those of us that don't have any professional background in architecture. We're still going to sell, and we're going to sell plenty.
All right.
Okay. So moving
So,
on.
so what so one of the things that we even do is that we help realtors where I work for. We help realtors to gain some of this knowledge. So I'm constantly taking classes on few occasions as to
Mm.
train realtors because I believe that it doesn't just stop at selling a property. One of the
Mm.
ways you can really convince a client to buy a property for you is to show him the future. The future of any
Mm.
land is the building on it. So constantly we're
Wow.
always um, training realtors, arming them with this skill, what they can do on the property, what they can tell clients that they can achieve on the property, and you too can learn it. So yeah, everyone is doing it together. This is their basic, so we can all be a part of.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's good. So as a developer, I would call you a developer now, right? I believe you're a developer.
I work on some projects. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you handle budget restraints or constraints without compromising the quality? You know, these days people want to build and or people want to get landed properties and they're quite confused. Okay, I have this amount of money. I'm not sure it will be able to get me exactly what I can see, right? Like you said, the future of any land is the building on it. I think you mentioned something like that. So they want to know how does your budget. So if for instance I have about 3 million naira and I want to the client has sent you, I'm your client now. I send you maybe a brief or something, a picture of one fine house I saw maybe in Banana Island, and I want to get the exact thing, but my budget is small. So how do you have clients like that? What would you tell anyone that has a particular dream house or a particular dream land they have, but the budget for now is not cutting what they have? How have you been able to balance that? And what would you tell anyone watching that has that constraint?
Okay, so in fact, coming to think about it, I'm currently working on a client at the moment that has
Interest.
this challenge
Okay.
with the budget. The client wants to get the property in the main town of Lagos, and his budget doesn't quite cut it. So, like I just mentioned to you, initially the client was looking for a two plot of land. So he said that he wanted to do a two plot of land because he had this initial mentality that if it's not very big, I cannot achieve what I want to achieve it. So he's looking at doing a rental he's
Mm.
doing rental business, which is he wants to get a lot of flats in it, two bedrooms up and down. And he reached out to me as an architect and saying that he needs like two plots of land. Uh, Understanding his brief and understanding what he really wanted, I knew that it wasn't just about the size of land, it was about the income he wanted to see. And one of the ways I made him to see that was that even with your one plot of land, because you don't have the money now to get the two plots of land, what your budget can take is a one plot of land. So I was able to make it
Yeah.
that even with your one plot of land, your rental income that you want to achieve, you can still achieve it and even get a lot more. I explained to him how the placements of those block of flats could be on the
Yeah.
plot and how many you could get from a full plot of land. On a full plot of land, you can get as much as 6 to 8 units of uh,
Wow.
two bedroom flats on it. Imagine you in a main place in Lagos renting that for about 1.5 million there, about calculating that
Actually.
by eight
Yeah.
apartments, you can see that you can actually get a lot. So budget restraints should never really be like a challenge. It's just about understanding what the client needs. Sometimes what people think they want is not what they need. They want to do a particular thing, but they are thinking that they need a lot of land. No, it's not always like that. Sometimes with the little you can do with your 150 square meters, you want to you want to build a home for you and your family. With a 150 square meter, you can build that home and comfortably live. But many people don't know that. So they have a very small budget for very, very big dreams. So, but if you can
Dreams.
merge that together, understanding these nitty-gritties, what people can do with their different properties, it's easy for you to sell to them and convince them. And you don't compromise quality because you still get that land in that same prime location that they're looking at getting.
Amazing. So you just made a sentence that I would like to say stay on. So you kind of emphasized the need to start small, right? So you don't have to have the 10 billion naira before you can start your investment in real estate, right?
Yeah,
Great.
true.
So on that note, and I heard you mentioning some different things you can do with land. So just tell us about different I want to say different things, but the different things you can use a landed property for. What can you build? What kind of things can you build like that?
A landed property generally can be used for there are three categories of building, three main categories of building that you can actually build on a landed property: a
Okay.
residential, a commercial, and an industrial building. Many of the times, the industrial part is usually for public companies or large organizations that might want to come to you, but many individual clients are usually more concerned about. Can you hear me? Anna?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, so I was saying that many
Okay. I think I lost you for a bit there.
oh, where did you lose me?
You can go on now.
Okay. So I said that many individual clients are usually looking to work on commercial and residential buildings. So with commercial buildings or with residential buildings, first of all, you can do a whole lot. You can go range from building for rental to building for yourself to building for short let or to building for sales. So it's based on what you actually want to do with the land, and you can make a lot of money doing any of all of those things. I've worked on projects whereby a customer, a client spent a particular amount and sold those apartments. Um, from the back end, I know that what those apartments were built for is not close to what the client sold it for. So, um, for
Yeah.
real estate like that, you can buy lands, use them to build apartments, and resell them to people. You can also buy for rental purposes, like the person I was just telling you about that wants to buy to do a block of flat to rent out. You can buy for shortlet. Shortlet is the new trending thing in town. Everybody wants to have a shortlet.
Yes.
And like I tell you, I've also been exposed to that industry too. There's a lot of money in it. A lot of people are looking for where to hang out these days. In December, if you were looking for a
Hmm.
shortlet in Lagos, it would have been difficult. The high class
You
people,
now found, yes.
all of them were booked. So you can use your lands for that. You can build apartments like that, and so you can also do commercial. So if you get a property in a very prime location and you're looking at what to do, you can do commercial, supermarket, car wash, various things you can do on your land as far as your mind can. I recently designed a gas plant for one of our clients that bought in one of our estates. So he bought in one of our
Wow.
estates, got a commercial plot, and he decided it was not building, he decided to do a gas plant. And I can tell you that that's the only gas plant in that of that magnitude. He built on actually two plots of land. That's the only gas plant in a far wide range. So he's tapping into a market in
Wow.
that particular place, and he's going to reap the reward for it. So there are various things like that you can do with your property when you buy real estate.
Amazing. So you just heard all of that from a professional. Yes. So in case you've been wondering what if after I buy the land, what if I don't want to sell it? What if I don't want to build a house on it? What if you just answered your question? You can use your landed property for commercial purposes. So at this point, I'm going to tell everyone watching. So thank you so much, Oluwatomilayo Abiola, for joining us. Thank you. Uh, Mr. Olauton Jeremiah, thank you very much for joining us today. So before we move on, like I said at the beginning, I have like juicy opportunities for everyone joining us, excuse me, this afternoon. So I'm going to be introducing you to something called reapse.co, reapse.co. Reapse.co, it is a platform owned by Wheatyville Properties, of course. So this is Wheaty Child Life, and then there's Wheatyville Properties, which sponsored this session. So with Reapse.co is a platform, right? And it is filled with a lot of land opportunities where you can just from the comfort of your house can just take your phone, type reapse.co, get registered, and then you'd see different opportunities, different land views, different land sections. Then you also have opportunities to do land banking, right? And guess what? These processes, they don't take a long time. and we are your trusted and reliable brand to bring this to you, of course. So when you do business with us, when you go there and you sign up, you get registered, you make your purchase, you find out that it's very easy, it's very seamless. And just like Christian has said, real estate is the very next, it's not the next big thing, it is actually the happening thing. So you should plug in to that. So you can reach out to us on 081 3888 3406. So you have to buy from us. I'm not going to say it's by force, but yes, you have to buy from us. So, Christian, so in case you have questions for our professional on the screen, please drop your questions in the chat box. Thank you. And don't forget to subscribe also while you're at it. So, Christian, my next question for you is, how does it contribute to transgenerational wealth? Do you believe it is something that can be handed down to generations as a legacy?
Absolutely, I believe that 100%. So, um, there are a lot of people. So, as per view my opportunity of being in the real estate sector and even working
Okay.
in companies that do this stuff, I can tell you that a lot of the lands that are being sold in Lagos when purchased by the people that are selling them. Many of them, their fathers and their fathers got to own those properties and they transferred them to them. So you hear many of the times that one family owns this property, another family owns this property, another family they were probably not even there when the father was buying the property, but now they are collecting big bucks for some of these real estate companies that are actually doing they're actually buying these properties from them. So that's an example of what real estate can do. Even when you buy now, there are even individual clients that when you buy now, in the future they get to will those properties to their children. So your children now are not starting from the
And
scratch
scratch.
anymore.
Yeah.
They have like a platform to start from. We have had situations whereby the father wills the property to his child and they get to sell the property. And a lot of them use that to start a lot of stuff for themselves. So I believe it's a means to transgenerational wealth for people a lot. Yeah.
Amazing. So do you have such plans for yourself and your future family? I don't know.
So one of the ways to validate what you sell is to use it. So
Mm,
the best the best way realtor can really one of the best ways a realtor can really convince any client about the importance of real estate is if he or she has a stake or an investment in real estate. So
yeah.
um that is the case for me. I got to learn that it's very important that you yourself, if you are pitching real estate to other people, what of you? Do you as a realtor, do you own a real estate? And many of the times it's not as difficult as people think. There are a lot of opportunities with different real estate companies, even with the one you just mentioned now, of
Yes.
step by step monthly payments that you can use to own a property for yourself. So once you can own a property, you own a property, it's easy to convince another person that, say, I own a property
Others.
now, you come and
Mm,
buy with me. So I believe that, and I started working on that already. Yeah.
interesting. So what should investors watch out for? So, in just as I mentioned earlier, I'm sure watching us or people that will still come across this session, they might be people that are interested in investing, people that have already invested, people that have had investments that might have gone wrong, or people who are also selling these investment opportunities to others. So, what if someone like that comes across this video? What would you advise such people to look out for before investing in any landed property?
So that's consultation. That's consultation. They're asking me to do your thing. But there are basic things. There are basic things that you can look out for. Number one thing I will tell you to do is that you should engage a professional. So um as much as possible, you don't want to do it all alone. You have to engage a
Right.
professional. Engage people that you know that are very familiar with the
Mm.
field and can help you to source for properties and know what to search for when you're looking for property. There are a lot of things to search for. We cannot um, go through them all now on air, but basic things, you are sure that the property has a good survey. You are looking at
Mm-hmm.
properties with CFO or other titles. Sometimes,
Yeah.
recently I even learned that, sometimes people see a property and they say that there's court judgment on it, and they're like, this property is a no go. Maybe because they have just heard court in the sentence. Uh,
Yeah.
from one of our lawyers, I recently learned that that's one of the best properties to buy because once a court has given
Really.
a verdict on property, um,
Mm.
it means that it has been settled in court. So even when you have a CFO on a property, somebody can still challenge you and take you to court, and you can drag for a long time. But after all that process has gone and the court has not affirmed that your CFO is your CFO and the person is selling the land to you, it means that there's no other court any other person can take you to. The land is
Wow.
sealed. So these are two knowledge you need to have. But it's very important to engage a professional, engage services like this one, engage realtors on this platform, and you would easily get properties anywhere around.
Amazing. So I can see a
Yeah.
comment from Barnabas Olawepo. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, is alien architect Christian. He said Chris to the world, right? Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel while you are here. And don't forget to drop some valuable lessons you've learned or picked from today's session. So my next question, don't tell me this one is okay. Don't tell me this is a consultation session. I want to ask a question. I'm sure people are very interested in this question and we were asking. So, in the space of 1 to 2 years, there have been there have been cases of buildings that have collapsed, buildings that have something was wrong with them, and then you hear of the building. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Oh, I can't hear you anymore. Can you hear me?
Am I back now? Can you see me?
Yeah,
Can you
can
hear
you hear
me?
me? Yes, I
Yes, I
can.
can hear you. I'm so sorry for that. It was my network that tripped off. So thank you to everyone that has joined so far. Thank you for staying with us. So I was asking that in the space of 2 to 1 year, there has been different cases of building collapse and all of that in Lagos and even around the world. Actually, it's a global problem. So what would you say? What if, for instance, you want to get a say you want to purchase a old building, right? What are those red flags on some buildings you'd see, or you even want to move into a building? What are those red flags you can give everyone who is watching us right now? What can you tell them to look out for? Because recently, I think I was in a building and I already started seeing some crack lines on the wall. And I became scared. I was like, yeah, okay. Hope this building is fine. I just want to get out of here. I was scared for people in it. So what are those signs or red flags for people to look out for?
So first of all, while you were saying that, I just thought to say that in as much as there have been a lot of collapsed buildings, there are still more buildings standing, way more buildings standing there that have been collapsed. So
Actually.
um, customers should never be afraid of purchasing real estate because of that fear of building collapse. No, it's not as bad. Consulting a professional, like I said earlier, is one of the ways to avoid some of those things. So, before you start any project, have you asked yourself, did you do a soil test for that particular property? So, I get to discuss with clients sometimes, and they buy land. There's nothing wrong in buying a land in a swampy area. But never say that, okay, I bought a land in this particular place. My neighbor did this type of foundation. It needs me to, I will do this type of foundation. So it doesn't work that way. You need to conduct your own individual test on your own
Research.
property to get the report of what the soil is saying in your own property. That is a basic thing that if you were using the right types of professionals, they will have encouraged you to use. Never always look at the amount that you will spend in doing some of those things, because what they save you in turn are way more than what you're going to be spending at that particular point in time. There are customers that you have advised um, to do some of this, and I went ahead to do that. I remember one of the customers one time bought a property in an estate, and she decided to go with a local engineer, use a local engineer to go and do the lab when she had opportunities to choose from professionals. She was not in the country, so whatever the customer was, whatever the engineer was telling her, she was believing. Also, she got back here and she realized that she didn't, the property had tilted. So
Wow.
using the right type of professional in your construction is so important. It cannot be overemphasized. There's so much a professional can do for you that even sometimes when you see a crack in your building, it's a crack in your building doesn't always mean that the building needs to be brought down. But when you have a
Okay.
professional around, one of the first things they tell you to do is to conduct an NDT. We have noticed if you go to the island recently, you'll have noticed that a lot of buildings have cracks. One of the reasons for those cracks, as far as they're not structural, it could be the type of building materials used. So the sand that they use for plastering and also so they get to crack. They're not structural, but these are some of the things that a professional would advise you on how to do. So, seeking a professional help in construction, when you're not sure of something, always ask questions from the right people, and you see that you can easily avoid some of all these issues. They're not as bad, only when you allow them to take a long time, that's when it becomes terrible. But when you take proactive steps, you see some of these things, you buy a property, you take proactive steps to using the right property, or you using the right people, or you are living in a property and you notice some of these challenges, you take proactive steps to seeking the right help, you'll be able to solve many of those problems easily.
Amazing. So when you mentioned that people should always ask on gray areas, so I'm also going to share something with everyone watching. In case you just joined, thank you for joining. Welcome to Witty Chat Live, and it is proudly sponsored by Wittyville Properties. So there's a question for Christian. It's on the screen, and it is MJ Olaoton who is asking. He said, "Walk us through the processes it will take to get a real estate project beginning with purchase of land to the finishing." So just briefly, just walk us through or run us through the process.
Mr. Alaito wants another consultation again. Live on air. I hope my colleagues will forgive me if I say all the things. But basically, there are a few things you need to know. So when you purchase a property, I mentioned something. I mentioned soil test. So when you purchase a property, based on what you want to do, so you need to first assess. Okay, you purchase the property. Let's say in Aja, we are very aware that in Aja and on the island, the soil is a little bit loose. The first thing you
Yeah.
should do is seek a professional help. Okay, I want to do this. What should I do first? Usually, it's going to advise you to do a soil test, especially when you are going more than a floor. It's going to tell you to do a
Okay.
soil test for your building. You perform a soil test. Once you're done with a soil test, you get an architectural drawing. Don't use Baba Tunde or Baba Eraje to give you a drawing. You get an architectural drawing from a professional. That's a process. An architectural drawing will provide you the floor plans of the building. We'll give you a foresight to the building. You get 3Ds and all
Okay.
that you need to do. The next thing is that you get the structural drawing, especially when you're going for more than a floor. You need a structural drawing. So you get a structural drawing from a professional as well. And
Okay.
that would also help in your foundation, knowing the required foundation to use. In
Yeah.
fact, a structural engineer should not be able to work until he sees a soil test, especially in a very loose soil area. So when you buy a property in a loose soil area, this structural engineer needs to see the
Okay.
soil
I'll
test before he
see.
can even do any design, because it's on his design that is going to recommend what types of foundations to use and all. So you get a structural design. In some cases, you might need to get mechanical and electrical, but that's depending on the type of building that you want to do. After that is done, to have a more structured building approach, it's very important to get a bill of quantity. So a bill of quantity would help you to know where you're starting from and when you are what you're going to be spending at different stages. So a lot of times customers walk up to me and ask me, what does it cost to complete a building? Or complete my four-bedroom duplex
Yes.
project or complete my block of flat project. What does it cost? And I usually tell them that no two buildings cost the same. There's a lot of variations to it. Number one, the finishes. I could want a finish, for example, I could want a door that costs maybe 200K. Another customer could just be fine and say, I just want a 75K door. That alone can shoot up the budget times two. Imagine maybe you have 10 doors in a
Sure.
building and I'm buying that at 200K. And if I put that as a cost for you, I use that it will scare you off in building because you think that I have to have so and so amount before I do. But
Yeah.
many of these things are of different variations. So you need a bill of quantity to guide you, knowing what you are going to be spending on each of that. And one of the things the quantity surveyor is going to tell you is going to ask you what types, the kind of finishes of materials you want. Some people who like marble top finishes, they like glosses everywhere. All those kind of things, they're going to be factored properly in your bill of quantity. And once that is done, you can then move into site. You know what your project costs. In fact, the bill of quantity sometimes will tell you the amount of cement you will use at different stages. So, how many bag of cement will you use
Oh,
at your foundation level? How many bag of cement will you use to get to your lintel and to your first floor slab? The bill of quantity will tell you all that. The same thing with your reinforcement and your what do they call it, sand usage and granite usage. So, that's a very important key element to do. And then afterwards, you now start your construction. On your site, you should always ensure that there's a qualified engineer on site, especially even for your foundation. At all
qualified.
points of your project, you need a qualified engineer, but even for your foundation, it's more important. So you need a qualified engineer to be there on site to guide, because the foundation, like they say, is uh, the most important what do they call it, part of the building. Once you get the foundation right, you can get any other thing right in the building. So you get your foundation right and you
Part of
move
the
on
building.
at different stages like that. And that's how you go about it. If you want more information, you can just seek our professional expertise. We're always open for that.
Amazing. So I'm going to chip this in. If you want more information, you have to visit our blog. Witty View Properties. I mean, we have a lot of opportunities, like I was saying. So we have a blog platform called eorblog.com, E-O-R-E blog.com. And on that blog, you are going to get a lot of insights. You're going to get a lot of useful materials, a lot of articles, a lot of trending news, and everything you need that has to do with that's going to help you with your investment process, In case you're a salesperson, you want to move into real estate, just visit eorblog.com. There you are going to get a lot of useful insights. I said engineer. Imagine, because you just finished talking about getting a qualified engineer on site, I'm already calling you engineer. Architect Christian just mentioned about the need for you to have professionals, qualified people help you out, walk you through this process of investing in real estate. With View Properties, we are your sure plug. I mean, we are very, very qualified. We have a team of professionals that are willing to hold your hand through your journey to acquiring your next real estate property. So don't forget to visit eorblog.com, eoreblog.com. And then earlier I mentioned about rips.co, which is the platform where you get to see, like, you get to see graphic images, and also if you would like to see a video of some landed properties before you buy them, sure, we can make that available for you. So just as we wrap up, it has been very insightful with architect Christian. He was just using a lot of professional terms, lentils, everything. All like, oh, hey. All right. So I think I need to go into architecture. Are you going to give me consultation or what would that? Thank you so
Very
much. It's been a really fun time with you on this chat. So my last question, it's not even a question, it's more like you saying something to everyone watching or anyone that will come across this. What would you say, or what advice would you give to anyone saying this that is still doubting the fact there are still people, right? There are still people moving around in Lagos or even globally that do not believe in investing in real estate, buying land. They're like, why? It's not my business. They're not even bothered at all. Maybe because they've heard stories of people getting scammed, people actually. I think that particular perspective has crippled a lot of people from actually making the right move into investing in real estate. So what would you tell this set of people? Just say something convincing to them as your last shot.
okay. So, accumulating from all that I've said, I think by now you should be more eager to get real estate. But there's no part of any system that is not faulty. If you are looking to get a car today, for example, you get a lot of fraudsters outside. If you're looking to get food ingredients, you get a lot of fraud. There are a lot of all the different sectors have bad ants and all that, but they also have very good ants, and that's where due diligence comes in. So when you're seeking to get real estate, you always seek for the right hands. So we're on a platform now, you reach out to them, you tell them that, oh, I want to get a property from them. You look for professionals who are in the build space already that can advise you on
Yeah.
some of these things to do. It's easier that way. That way you get to prevent a lot of scams and all that for yourself. And don't be so I was having a conversation with somebody, a more elderly person, and one of the things the person told me was
Okay. Christian, can
um
you?
he
Okay.
knew how, so we're driving through. Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you now.
Yeah. So we're driving through Ogudu K to Surulere, and it was a more elderly person. He was telling me that all these places used to be selling for very cheap amounts. They used to sell them for that all these places were bushes. I understand what he's saying because I drive to Ekpe today and I drive to Ikpejuleki and I see how bushy those places might look at this particular point in time. But he was saying those same things for Ugudu. Can you imagine Ugudu or Jota or
Yes.
Egbeda or
Yes.
Ako or just being bushy? Can you imagine it? That's Ugudu or Egbeda was just like what Ekpe is today. But those places have transformed into what it is. So if you keep waiting and keep doubting, you might be part of the bandwagon that I die no, I die
I
no, I die no.
wish. Yeah.
I wish. But if you take actions today and um, talk with the right set of people, meet with the right professionals, let them guide you through, you'll be able to own a property in a very good place. And for the next few years, we talked about transgenerational wealth. Even your children will be weeping and they will be blessing my daddy that bought this land for me in this particular place. Thank you.
Yes. Wow, it has been amazing. So someone here said they would like to get your contacts. Can you share your contacts? How can they reach you? LinkedIn, Instagram.
So my name on LinkedIn is Chickeme Christian. My name on Instagram is also Chickeme Christian. So Chickeme Christian. So on both social medias, you can reach out to me, send me a DM. I'll be willing to chat with you.
Amazing. So thank you so much for joining us today. So in case you want to reach out to Architect Christian, you can just tell him, oh, I came across the Witty Chat Live you were on. I'm sure that he would pay you a lot of attention. I don't know about giving a discount in case you want his service to know. But that's about that. Thank you so much, Christian, for joining. I will have to let you
Thank you for
go now. Thank you so much. It's been
thank
fun.
you so much.
Yes. All right. So that was a phenomenal session with our guests today on Witty Chat Live. And I can tell you that there's still more to come. There's still more to come. You have to keep your fingers crossed, and you also have to anticipate, like they would say on social media. So yes, my name is still Dorcas Adejoro, and I am your host. I am still your host, and I'm going to see you next time. Right, to get notifications from this channel or to know when we're live, you have to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share this link with your friends, your family members that still need to get convinced about the power in real estate. You can share this link with them. And you can also visit our website. You can visit our blog platform, eorblog.com, eoreblog.com, and also reaps.co, reapse.co. Both platforms are owned, they are trusted, so don't be scared when you visit those platforms. They're actually very easy to navigate. I mean, we ensure that because of you. We want things to be made easy for you. So you can visit those platforms, and you can also follow us on social media to get the latest gist, latest trends, witty view properties on Instagram and also on Facebook. You can give us a call on 081-3888-3406. 081-3888-3406. So how has the session been for you? I can see that people are here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let me just give a shout out to those that joined. Thank you, Mr. Olaoton Jeremiah. Thank you, Barnabas Olawipo. Thank you, Tomilola Abiola. And thank you to everyone that joined us. To architecture and we would meet so network is doing network things. So it's bye for now. See you next time. Subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications so you know the next time we're going live, or follow us on social media with Veil Properties. Thank you. Bye.